outside. I pulled the car into the garage, so I got a controlled environment because the product I'm using is a spray-on, and I don't want that blowing all over the place. I want to be able to control it, and it's also 15 degrees warmer in my garage, which is a much better temperature to be applying the product as well. Again, with any kind of, pretty much any kind of car washing, detailing product, the range to use it is usually almost always 50 to 75 degrees. Anything below that, adhesion is going to be hard. Anything above that, adhesion is going to be hard, and you're going to be fighting drying, neither of which are fun. It can make an otherwise fun and almost like a bonding process with the car. Makes it difficult and more difficult.
Yep. Right.
Okay, so as I was washing the wheels, I could get some water back on the car, and also with the blade, you'll get stripes here and there of water, and I've got a couple of microfiber towels. And at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and just give the car a really quick final dry before I get ready to apply my ceramic coating product. So this is just getting off the rest of the water, the stuff that I missed, the stuff that I put back on the car, the stuff that just came out of places from pulling it into the garage, all that. So I'm just going to get on there, dry it out the rest of the way, get a nice good surface for the ceramic coating. Moving these around, I can just flip them as I'm holding them. If you drop one, grab a different one, shake that one out. You don't want to pick up a towel that you dropped on your garage floor, run a little pebble you didn't notice it was on it across your finish that you just prepped. And again, the reason I like those water blades is if I was just using these towels to dry the entire car, especially as cold as it is, where it's not air drying much, if any, these things would be soaking wet. I'd have to be wringing them out. I'd have to probably have a handful of them to actually dry the car. The water blade, I knock 80% of the water off the car. I'll be able to easily dry the rest of the car with these two towels that I have in my hand, and just wring them out when I'm done. All right, so now that I got the exterior dried off, I didn't dry the wheels. I'm gonna do those separately with a different towel, again, for the contamination risk factor. I don't wanna do that. I am gonna go ahead and do my door jambs. I'll give you another little final drying tip that I always like to throw in, but anyways, when you're done washing or drying the car, jump in there and finish drying out your freshly clean door jambs. And this will be the last thing I do with the towel. And I might pick up some dust and stuff, but I'm not worried about that. I'll give it a good shake out and decide if I need to wash it. These are washable and they're cheap, so if you get one that's too screwed up, you just throw it away. It's no big deal. But I like to do the inside of my door frames, bottom of my panel, garage door there. And then I also like to take this microfiber towel. Now it's slightly damp, it's not soaking wet, but it's got a little bit of a dampness to it. And I'll go over the top of my dash. I never like to use any sort of spray chemicals on my dash. It just makes things weird, gets in the switches, causes problems. Just a damp cloth is all it takes to knock the dust down. So I'm just gonna hop in there and run this across the dash real quick. Get my vents, knock the dust out of those. And that's really about all it needs. And that's that. We can get started with our ceramic coat. I'm going to be using a Hydrosilex recharge kit, and this is actually a ceramic coating. They call it the recharge. It also clearly states that it is a ceramic coating. The branding actually clearly states that it is also a ceramic coating, okay? So it's not just a recharge. This is a legitimate ceramic coating. Ceramic coatings are all the rage right now. They're fantastic repellents, hydrophobic, avoiding dirt buildup. It's, I guess you would call it a wax replacement. I mean, it's literally a wax replacement if that suits your needs for your protection. In this case, on a white car, this is awesome. I usually use a sealant, like Meguiar's number 20 or 21, on white cars. You don't see the surface scratches in those as much. If we were really getting serious about detailing this car, we would have done a polish first. Being white, low miles, paint's had a good life, it doesn't need that kind of polishing. So we're gonna jump right into applying this. The directions are very simple. You know, get the bottle good and shake it up, get a light spray over the car, and then we're gonna just pull that coating off with a microfiber and go back over it and buff it. So as small as this car is, I'm gonna be able to apply what I need over the entire surface, and then I'm gonna go over it and start wiping it down and buffing it off, and it'll take me a few minutes. It is safe for glass and chrome and stuff, so it's fine if you get on your lights. It's actually beneficial. I'm not gonna deliberately spray it on my windows. Like I said, I'm gonna apply Rain-X to that, but it is designed as a whole car application, so I'm not concerned about getting it on this black trim or my glass. It's not gonna work against me or damage the surfaces. So here in the light, you can kind of actually see about the level of material that's going on in the car. It's not a ton. You absolutely don't need it dripping off the paint. That's just a waste of product. We just want to coat the surface. The first microfiber towel that I go over the car with is going to uniformly apply the material. I am going to get my trim piece between my two windows. I'm going to get my mirror caps. So one side down the car, get the bottle under the shake. Just keeping it shaken up, keep the formula mixed. It didn't have a lot of separation in the bottle, so I'm not really concerned about that. Get my diffuser. So at this point, I've got the entire car coated. I've probably used 20% of that bottle on the R. So this little bottle is about 35 bucks, and I could have done this car, gosh, at least 5 times, maybe even 6. So a smaller car like a hatch, Golf R, Focus, you're gonna get quite a few uses out of this bottle. All right, so I'm gonna use my Costco microfiber towels, Kirkland series. A little pro tip here: tear the tags off, so you're not running that tag across your paint finish. You don't need them. IRS or the government's not going to come arrest you for pulling those off or anything. And then also, it's a good quality towel. Give it a little bit of a shake, anyways. You're going to get some little bit of the lint off of it. And I've got 2. The one's going to get quite a bit of the ceramic coating on it, and I'll use the second one to buff it to a shine. So I'm going to use the more fibrous side of the cloth to get started here. I'm just going to karate kid it across the car and get it all buffed in. And it is very, very easy to work with. It doesn't require a lot of heavy pushing or re-rubbing. It just goes in nice. And I'm putting it into the paint right now. I'm not sucking it up with my towel. So it's just pushing it into the surface, giving it a nice uniform application. And again, I didn't have to get it so thick that it was running off the car. I just had to get it thick enough that when I'm running my towels across it, that I'm able to push the product onto the full painted surface and not leave any open spots. And you could even do this and go back over it and do it again. You could do it the following week if you want to rewash the car and apply a second application. It will last, like no joke, a good 3 months. Outside park, daily driving, washing it once a week, that finish will last a good 3 months. It's great. It's excellent protection. And then meanwhile, because of the properties, the hydrophobic properties, when you do get stuck driving out in the rain, like we do in Oregon all the time, it's going to do a better job of allowing the dirt and stuff to just slide right off the paint. So the paint's wet, everything just kind of just slides off instead of sitting there and getting stuck in the paint, getting bedded into the paint, and it just gives you a slicker surface for longer. So the car actually has the appearance that it's staying cleaner for longer by virtue of the dirt not sticking to it. I'm just gonna seat this all in across the entire car. Let that sit, and take that nice dry towel and just go over the whole car again and just lightly, light touch. I'm not pushing on the car at all. Just light touch, buff the rest of it off so we get that nice finish. And I'll buff that again as I go by it with that dry towel. I did want to make sure I got this piece between the glass because it needs protection too. I'm also going to go ahead and apply the ceramic coating to the door jambs just for that protection. Try not to get too much on my inner door skin. There's light sprays. I'll use the towel to spread the application. So I'm using the, at this point, I'm really heavily using the towel to spread it around because I didn't want to get on the leather or anything. It's not designed for that. If anyone's used ceramic coating or door jambs, I'd be curious to hear your comments on it in the comments portion of the thread. Generally, I wax my door jambs, but since we're focusing on the ceramic coating today, went ahead and applied the ceramic coating. So if you've been using it, I'd love to hear your comments. I'm expecting similar to the outside that we'll have less buildup of dirt and grime from the hydrophobic properties of the coating. I'll have to check if the new owner stops by in a month or so. I'll have to take a look in the door jambs to see how they look. Again, all that prep work that I put into the car, washing it and clay barring it, it's giving me just exceptional surfaces to apply this to. I don't have any dirt anywhere. I'm not picking up any dirt as I'm going along. I eliminated that by spending that extra time preparing the vehicle for this treatment. Just like anything else that's getting a final coat application, the preparation going into that application is most of the work. This thing's looking good. I'm going to let this set up for just another minute or two, and then I'm going to take a second brand new towel and just go over the whole car and just buff off any flashing of the product I see. Now, this wasn't a infomercial for this product. I didn't want to get into that and plug these guys too much. It's a great product. But if you go and you find one of those videos, you'll see that the ceramic will do is it will actually form dots, and it will look like there's something on the paint, and you want to rub all that out, or rub it into the paint to eliminate those spots. And it's you'll catch it on the edge of the glasses especially, and you'll be like, what is that? It'll just look like you know, there's just kind of like light spots, almost like a milky wash water or something, and that is the ceramic coating. That is how it sets up and what it's designed to do. So you gotta buff that out of there. So we're gonna go over the entire paint surface. I'm gonna go over the glass last, and then I'm gonna apply my Rain-X to the glass like I originally talked about as we got started. But here's a good spot where you can actually see the dots. That is the ceramic. Now, when I say ceramic, I mean, I truly mean ceramic. That stuff is gonna set up hard, and that is similar to wax. That is your barrier between your painted surface and the elements. So you're either gonna need to buff that in or rub the excess off, because it will stay there and it will get very hard. And this being a consumer product, it would be easier to remove this versus some of the stuff that the professional detailers and car dealerships are using. And you can also buy that stuff on eBay, coincidentally. That stuff gets rock hard. I mean, literally hard as glass. And it would be a pain to get that off if you haven't done so correctly in your final wipe down. So be sure and get it all off of there. Okay, so I've got my other brand new towel here, and I'm just gonna go over the car and just polish the finish out. And like I said, I'm gonna go back over the glass, wipe any of the ceramic coating off the glass, and then I'll go back through and put my Rain-X on my windows as well. And then I'll go ahead and back it out of the garage and look it over and inspect to see if I've managed to miss anything in the garage that I can see outside. Better lighting would give me the ability to do that in here. So even though you can't really see what, you know, it's a white car and it's a clear product, so you're like, well, what is he doing? It's like, well, I'm actually rubbing it in the rest of the way, and what isn't coming in or going into the paint is coming off onto my microfiber, and that's going to give us that finish that we spent the last couple hours preparing the surface for, and it will look great. So I got the car pulled back outside now, and with the sunlight, I'm just going to use it to walk around and do a final inspection, and even just backing the car out of the garage, just getting in here, I can see that I had some product on my side mirrors. I want to polish that out, and also just on the glass. And the glass I'm really going to get with the Rain-X, so putting that second product on there is going to give me another opportunity to handle the area and do some further cleanup on that, just to make sure it's all off the car. We don't want any residual product on the car like we've got right here. We want to get all that off. And again, you can see the dots. That's the ceramic coating setting up, and that's what it does on your paint, and it gets rock hard. And even just going over that with my finger, you'll see I'm not taking that off, and at this point I'm smudging it a little bit. It really takes some rubbing to get that off of there. And if we let it sit for even longer, it would be that much harder to get off. And fortunately, this being a consumer product versus a professional product, we would actually be able to get it off at all times. Some of the commercial grade stuff that they don't sell to the public, except on eBay, from China, the product sets up rock hard. I've seen demo videos where they've taken a little bit of the ceramic, poured into a cap, let it sit overnight, and in the morning they've got a piece of glass essentially. Well, you can see how beautiful that brings out the pearl in this Oryx white. I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, the color's awesome in itself, and that coating's just really giving it an extra level of beauty. I've already been over the car a good 2 or 3 times with the drying towel. Where this differs from wax, especially on a white car, is it'll get you. I mean, you got to really look at it close to make sure you're getting all of the product buffed off the paint. I mean, really what you need to do is just honestly just start at one corner and extremely diligently go end to end, drop down, and do it over again if you want to make 100% sure you're getting it off the car. If you try and do it like you would a wax, where you take your mitt and just give it one of these, you're going to miss a lot of product because it's setting up faster than a wax. And then with a wax, you have the benefit of, if you look down the side of it pretty quickly, you're going to see that white haze. This product isn't giving much of a haze. It's giving us those dots that you can see right here. It gives us that, and that is hard to see on this white paint. So the best thing to do is just be super diligent and just end to end, down, end to end, down, end to end. And, you know, as always, top to bottom, and then do it once more just to make sure you are getting it all off of there and you get that nice finish. And if you do like to take it easy and you don't want to put that kind of effort into it, I am a big fan of car wash with wax. I love that stuff. I use it all the time. We use it at the shop, use it at home. McGuire's makes a great one. Mother's makes a great one. Even the Turtle Wax one's pretty good. You can get that stuff on sale on Amazon for pretty cheap, especially in the winter. Picking stuff up in the winter in December and January, Amazon is a great way to save a few bucks on your product, because you know, nobody's buying car wash detailing supplies in the winter except the guys looking for a deal. And I always like a deal on car waxes. I have tons of car waxes. Love it. Love this stuff. I have a feeling I'm not alone in that love affair with the product. This kind of process, I mean, it was multi-step. I've been working on it for, I think, close to 3 hours now, you know, and I can wash a couple of my cars in under an hour, wash dried, you know, good enough for the week. But this process is really taken about 3 hours, and we really haven't had to slow much or shoot any retakes to get a certain, you know, emphasis on what we're doing. It's taken me about 3 hours to get to the point we're at now, where I'm essentially just doing the final inspection right before I finish up with the glass and pull the car in. So make sure, if you're going to do this, you set some time aside, have some drinks, make sure you stay hydrated while you're working on it, maybe a snack. Take a couple breaks between the steps. Your arms get just really tired. I mean, my arms, I'm definitely tired. Been a lot of rubbing. And if you don't know karate, by the time we're done with this, watch the video again. You did something wrong. If you caught that reference, of course, that was a Karate Kid reference. I'm not actually teaching you how to apply wax to your car. I'm teaching you karate. Well, I'm happy to say I didn't find any more, or any new, I should say, door dings in the car. 3 years of ownership, got through not a single door ding. That's absolutely awesome. Did find some little rock chips, and not in any place that even if I had done a Clearbra that would have protected them. I mean, there's some oddball little chips here and there. Suppose that one, Clearbra, would have caught that one, because the way we're doing it these days, we wrap the full fender. But there's a little guy I hadn't noticed before. There's one over by the driver's door handle on the rear door. I hadn't seen that before. So I picked up a couple more rock chips. The paint's super thin on modern cars. I never was a fan of Clearbra. I thought the applications were pretty poor in how they were being half-masked across the hood. And then they started doing the full panel wraps, where they wrap the whole fender, the whole hood with the film. And I mean, that really is the way to go. It's definitely giving you a protection barrier. Paint on modern cars is super thin. They figured out, obviously, they could save some weight by keeping that paint thin. It also lowers their material cost, and they're all about both things these days. So Clearbra is a great idea. You can ceramic coat the Clearbra too, which is nice. The new R that we have on the way, we'll take delivery of that car. We will do some sort of polish on it as needed, and that car will get wrapped in clear film. Not the doors, but we'll do the full front end and the A-pillars to protect that. One of the first rock chips I got on this car was the day I got it at the dealership. Driving it home, I got a rock chip on the freeway, just bringing it home from the dealership. So you can never get that stuff on too soon. All right, well, this thing's about as good as it's gonna get. Before tomorrow when I get it to work, I'll give it one more final walk around. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and apply my Rain-X, because it's that season around here. Rain-X is really a great product. You still want to use your windshield wipers and stuff, but it adds a repellent, just like the ceramic coating does. That limits the amount that you need to use your wipers, limits the amount of dirt and rain that stick to the glass, so they don't get as dirty. On a hatch, the rear glass is the most critical piece, followed by the windshield, and then the side glass I'm going to do just to help get any additional residual ceramic coat that I had got on there off, and also to get them be protected as well. And this stuff we just use as the directions specified. A little bit on towel, rub it in, do the whole glass, come back around, buff it off. Windshield's the biggest area for the Rain-X. This will help the wipers do their job better. It'll help them need to do less work. And if you have a car that is prone to a skipping wiper, or just a poor wiper system design, it really lends toward keeping the rain off the windshield. They also make a washer fluid additive which works great. You just put in your washer fluid, and when you clean your windshield, it puts the Rain-X on there and kind of rejuvenates your wiper blades, and melds in real nicely with the application of Rain-X to prolong the effectiveness of the application. That's on there good. And I'm gonna grab another just paper towel. I could remove this with a microfiber as well, but what I find with the microfiber towels on glass is glass isn't perfectly flat. It's almost porous, and microfiber is so fine that oftentimes when you put a microfiber across glass, you get microfiber lint stuck on your glass, and it sucks. So I'm using paper towel to wipe this off. Old school detail tip would also be to use newspaper for cleaning your glass. The print paper that they use is great to get a streak-free finish on your glass. Of course, nowadays you don't see as many newspapers, so a lot of people don't have them laying around their garage like they used to in the olden days. So with the removal of this, again, it's just one more circular motion for the day. If I had a circular motion pedometer on, it would be ranking in the thousands at this point, I'm sure. This paper towels give me a nice lint-free finish. So the first time I drive the car, hell of a sun, I'm not going to have a eye full of microfiber lint to look at. It's just going to be a nice clean surface. Now, on a window like the rear window of a hatch, where it needs to like Q5 or something, for example, hitting that rear window with a second coat, totally to your benefit. It's just going to make the surface that much slicker and help repel the water and dirt that much longer. So feel free to put a second coat of this on your rear window or windshield. I wouldn't worry about the side windows so much. Rain doesn't usually stick to those as bad. Well, that about does it. We've got the car washed, clay barred, ceramic coated, Rain-X the glass. It's ready for its new owner. Happy to pass the car on. It's awesome. Glad it's staying local. Guy who just works down the street from the shop, actually, so that's great. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments. If you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I do plan to make an effort to shoot more videos this year, 2019. I'm kind of taking a break the last couple years, just focusing on other things, but I hope to have some more time to bring you some informative, entertaining, and fun videos to watch online. Thanks a lot.